My fiancée left our wedding. After her ex crashed it and said, "I can't believe I almost settled for a pathetic piece of trash like you." I took my brutal revenge. Now she's begging for forgiveness, only to find out I'm already with someone else. All right, Reddit. So my fiancée called off our wedding at the altar when her ex crashed it, humiliated me in front of 150 guests, and walked out saying I was just a settlement option. I sued them both, rebuilt my life, and made their life a living hell. Grab some popcorn and enjoy the shit show. I, 29 male, a marine biologist, spent most of my 20s diving coral reefs and doing actual important work, while most people my age were getting wild at bottomless brunches. But here's the thing, nobody tells you about marine biology. The pay is terrible unless you're willing to sell out to corporate consulting. So I started a side hustle building custom aquariums, not the basic PetSmart rectangle tanks. I'm talking 500-gallon reef ecosystems for CEOs and tech bros who want living art in their offices. Charge anywhere from $15,000 to $50,000 per build depending on complexity. It funds my actual passion work and keeps me from drowning in student loans. I met my fiancée Harper, 26 female, at a conference in San Diego 3 years back. She was doing data analysis for some environmental firm. I was presenting research on coral reef restoration. We hit it off immediately. Both ocean nerds, both into the same podcasts, both wanted the whole marriage and kids thing eventually. We did long distance for 8 months while I finished my research contract in Florida. Video calls every night, flew out to see each other once a month, the whole romantic long distance playbook. When I landed a position at the Pacific Marine Research Institute in Seattle, Harper found work there within 2 weeks. Moved in together, adopted a dog named Kobe, started building what looked like a normal adult relationship. 2 years in, I proposed at Olympic National Park. We set the wedding for October, gave ourselves 8 months to plan. Harper went full bridezilla mode immediately. The wedding budget ballooned from $20,000 to $45,000 real fast. I was dropping serious cash, money I'd saved from aquarium builds and research grants, but Harper kept saying it was our special day, and we only do this once. Problem was, it wasn't really our money at that point. I'd paid for about $35,000 of the total. She'd covered maybe $10,000. Every time I tried mentioning we should scale back, she'd get defensive. Why are you being cheap about our wedding? Don't you want it to be perfect? My best friend Leo kept telling me I was getting played, but I brushed it off. Figured she was just stressed about the planning. We started fighting more. Nothing huge, just friction. She'd get upset when I worked late on aquarium projects. The wedding is in 2 months and you're worried about someone's fish tank? She didn't get that those fish tanks were funding her dream wedding. I'd get annoyed when she'd add another $2,000 to the budget without asking. We'd argue. I'd cave. She'd get what she wanted. The pattern repeated weekly. She started getting weird about 3 months out. More secretive with her phone, taking calls in the other room, staying up until 2 a.m. researching decor ideas. A few times I walked in, and she'd minimize her screen real fast, then claim she was looking at surprise wedding details for me. When I asked about it, she'd snap. God, can't I do anything without you interrogating me? I'm trying to make our wedding perfect and you're acting paranoid. I trusted her. I mean, why wouldn't I? We were getting married in a few months. Who the heck starts side action right before their wedding? Then came the rehearsal dinner, which went smoothly enough. Both families showed up, gave toasts, told embarrassing stories. Harper's parents flew in from Argentina. Her whole family's from Buenos Aires, which added this extra layer of traditional Catholic expectations to everything. They were thrilled about the wedding, kept talking about grandkids, and asked when we were buying a house. Harper seemed more engaged that night, laughing with her bridesmaids, taking selfies with her mom, acting like the bride I'd known before the weird phase started. I relaxed a bit, figured whatever tension we'd been having was just normal pre-wedding jitters. That night we slept separately, her at her parents' hotel, me at our apartment. She kissed me before leaving and said, "Tomorrow's going to be perfect. I love you." October 15th arrived with clear skies and perfect weather. I got ready with my groomsmen at the venue. I was excited. I thought I was about to marry my best friend and start our life together. Guests started arriving around 3:30 p.m. I stood at the altar with the officiant, watching 150 people fill the seats. My family on the left, Harper's on the right. Everyone dressed up. Everyone excited. I recognized faces from grad school, colleagues from the Research Institute, and family I hadn't seen in years, all here to watch us get married. The ceremony was set for 4 p.m. sharp. Harper's bridesmaids walked down the aisle one by one in their coordinated dresses. Then the music changed to the wedding march. Everyone stood. Harper appeared at the back, looking incredible in her designer dress. She'd spent $8,000 on that dress alone, kept saying she wanted to look perfect for photos. She started walking down the aisle with her dad, smiling at guests, soaking in the attention. But something was weird. Her eyes kept scanning the crowd like she was looking for someone specific. Not me, someone else. She reached the altar. Her dad kissed her cheek and took his seat. Harper stood across from me, holding her bouquet. The officiant started his speech about love and commitment and partnership. Standard wedding stuff. I was barely listening, just staring at Harper and thinking about our future. The house we'd buy, the kids we'd have, growing old together. Then the officiant got to the part, the one that's supposed to be pure formality. If anyone has any reason why these two should not be wed, speak now or forever hold your peace. I've got a reason. The voice came from the back. Male voice. Confident. Everyone turned. Standing in the last row was this tall guy in an expensive suit. Had that smug expression like he owned the place. He was looking right at Harper with this cocky smile. Harper's in love with me, not this guy. So maybe we should hold off on the vows. The entire venue went dead silent. You could hear the wind off the water. Someone's phone fell on the ground and nobody moved to pick it up. I looked at Harper. Her face was white. Harper, I said quietly. Who is that douchebag? Before she could answer, the guy started walking down the aisle, taking his time, enjoying the attention, like this was some romantic movie, and he was the hero. Trent, he said, extending his hand to me like we were meeting at a networking event. Harper's told me all about you, man. Seems like a good dude. But she's been texting me for months saying she made a mistake letting me go. Figured I should crash this party before she married the wrong guy. I just stared at Harper. You've been texting this jerk for months? She opened her mouth but nothing came out. Just stood there holding her bouquet, looking between me and Trent like she was trying to decide something. Like this was some kind of Sophie's choice, instead of the most obvious decision of her life. Trent was at the altar now, standing right next to me, smirking at the whole situation. Look, man, no hard feelings. But Harper and I have history. Real history. Not just some rebound relationship after her last breakup. We're talking 3 years together in college, first love type stuff. You were just the safe option while she figured herself out. My hands were shaking. Not from nerves, from pure rage. I could hear my mom crying in the front row. Could see Leo, my best man, tensing up like he was ready to drag Trent out by his throat. I could see 150 people watching this disaster unfold in real time, phones out, recording every second of the worst moment of my life. Harper looked at Trent, his smug face, his expensive suit, his hand reaching for hers. Then at me, the guy who'd spent 3 years building a life with her, who'd dropped $45,000 on this wedding, who'd relocated for her, who'd made her the center of his world. And I knew, right there, in front of 150 people, in my wedding suit, after dropping $45,000 on this disaster, I knew exactly what was about to happen. I'm sorry, she whispered. I thought I could go through with it, but I can't. Trent and I, we never got closure. We never had our chance. The venue erupted. Gasps, people standing up, someone yelling, "Oh my God," from the back. My mom started crying harder. Leo moved forward like he was about to tackle Trent. Harper's dad looked like he was about to have a stroke. So that's it? I said. You're calling off our wedding? Right now? In front of everyone? I'm really sorry. But yes. Trent put his arm around Harper's shoulders. Nothing personal. But when you know, you know. And she knows she belongs with me. He stepped closer, chest puffed out, that smug grin plastered across his face. Then he shoved me. Not hard, but enough. Hands on my chest, pushing me back like I was some obstacle in his path. Move aside, bro. This doesn't concern you anymore. That's when I lost it. Pure reflex. Pure rage. I punched Trent square in the jaw before I even registered what I was doing. Full force, all my weight behind it, connected with a crack that echoed across the venue. He went down like a bag of cement, hit the ground hard, blood immediately streaming from his mouth. The tough guy act evaporated instantly. He was curled up whimpering, hands covering his face, not even trying to get up. All that ego, all that confidence gone the second he got hit. Typical coward. Complete chaos. People screaming. Leo grabbing my arms. Harper dropping her bouquet and kneeling next to Trent, who was groaning on the ground holding his face like he'd been shot. Trent, oh my God, are you okay? She was crying, stroking his hair. I stood there watching my fiancé comfort the man who just destroyed our wedding, while 150 people stared in horror. Then Harper looked up at me. The venom in her eyes was something I'd never seen before. You're a psycho. You could have broken his jaw. I asked him to come. I couldn't go through with this. I couldn't marry someone I've been settling for. The venue went quiet again. Settling for. She'd just called me a settlement option in front of everyone we knew. Trent was getting up now, still bleeding but managing to mutter something about pressing charges. His voice was shaky, hands trembling. Guy talked big, but folded the second things got physical. Pathetic. I turned to the security guards. I'm leaving. You want to deal with the two people who actually trespassed on private property and turned a wedding into their personal drama show? They're right there. Didn't look back at Harper. Didn't acknowledge Trent's groaning. Didn't give anyone else in that venue the satisfaction of seeing me break down or beg or cause more scenes. Just walked down the aisle in my wedding suit, past 150 people holding their phones up like I was a parade float, past my crying mother, past her shocked family, past everyone who'd come to watch me get married. Walked straight out of that venue into the parking lot, pulled out my keys, got in my truck. Leo caught up to me. Wait, I'm not staying here and letting her turn this into more of a circus than it already is. We drove away from the venue, away from the ceremony site, away from the disaster Harper had orchestrated. My phone was already blowing up with texts and calls. I turned it off. 3 years. $45,000. 8 months of planning. 3 minutes to destroy all of it. So yeah, I left. Walked away from the wreckage she'd created and never looked back. Finally drove back to our apartment. Called a locksmith. Had him there within an hour changing every lock. Then I started packing Harper's stuff into boxes. Everything she owned, every piece of clothing, every photo, every decoration. If it was hers, it went in a box. Leo showed up around 9 p.m. with my brothers. Didn't say anything, just started helping pack. We cleared out 3 years of Harper's life in 2 hours. Stacked everything by the door. By midnight, the apartment looked like a bachelor pad again. All traces of Harper erased. My brothers ordered pizza. We sat around eating and not talking about what happened because what the heck do you even say? Around 2 a.m., Harper tried calling. I blocked her number. She had her dad call Leo to arrange picking up her stuff. Leo told him to hire movers because none of us wanted to see their faces. That was my wedding day. But that was just the beginning. Harper showed up Thursday afternoon to get her stuff. Just her and an attitude that suggested she thought this would go her way. I'd already moved everything to the entryway. 23 boxes, labeled and stacked. 3 years of her life condensed into cardboard and packing tape. The apartment felt bigger without her clutter everywhere. She walked in looking annoyed. The locks had been changed 2 days prior, so Leo had given her dad the new key temporarily, just for this pickup. This is it, she said, looking at the boxes. Everything you own, you're welcome. She started going through boxes anyway, like I'd hidden her precious belongings or damaged them out of spite. Pulled out clothes, checked her jewelry box, examined her books like I'd torn pages out for fun. Where's my blender? That was mine. I had it before we moved in together. I used it every morning. Cool story. Still mine. She shot me a look but kept digging. Then she started talking. Trent and I are really happy, you know. He's everything I needed. Don't take what happened personally. I said nothing. Just leaned against the wall and watched her perform. She kept going. He's taking me to California next month. Says we should just drive down the coast and see where we end up. That's the kind of adventure I want. Sounds great. Hope his parents' credit card covers gas. Her jaw tightened, but she didn't bite. Just kept pulling stuff from boxes and monologuing about how amazing Trent was, how free she felt, how she'd made the right choice. Then Kobe walked out of the bedroom. The dog took one look at Harper and immediately came to me. Sat at my feet, leaned against my leg. Hadn't done that for her in months. I'm taking Kobe, Harper announced. No, you're not. He's my dog too. He's registered under my name. Vet bills are in my name. I paid the adoption fee. Kobe's mine. That's not fair. I helped raise him. You fed him sometimes and complained about walking him. That's not raising anything. Harper bent down and called Kobe over. The dog looked at her, then at me, then deliberately turned and walked back toward the bedroom. Didn't even acknowledge her. She tried again. Kobe, come here, boy. Come on. Nothing. Even the dog was done with her. That's when Harper decided to just grab him. Walk toward the bedroom, calling his name in that high-pitched voice people use with dogs they don't actually understand. I followed, curious how this would play out. Kobe was on the bed. Harper reached for his collar. Come on, we're leaving. Kobe growled. Low, warning sound. He'd never growled at anyone. Kobe, stop it! She grabbed his collar anyway. Yanked hard, trying to drag him off the bed. Kobe bit her. Not a full attack, just a quick snap that caught her hand. Drew blood. Harper screamed and let go, clutching her hand. He bit me! Your psycho dog just bit me. My dog defended himself. That's called boundaries. I'm calling animal control. Go ahead. Tell them you tried stealing a dog registered to someone else, got bit when you grabbed him aggressively, and want them to do something about it. See how that goes. Kobe had jumped off the bed and was back at my side, calm as could be. Not aggressive, not worked up, just done with Harper's nonsense. She was crying now, examining her hand like Kobe had taken her whole finger off. It was a surface bite, barely broke skin, would heal in a week. Harper grabbed her purse, left half the boxes unpacked, and stormed toward the door. I'll get a lawyer. I'll sue you for him. Try it. You're already on the hook for wedding costs and my property. Add a frivolous pet custody suit and watch that number grow. She stopped at the door, turned back one more time. Trent was right about you. You're cold. She slammed the door. I heard her car start, heard her peel out of the parking lot like she was in an action movie instead of a 15-year-old Corolla. I looked at Kobe. Good boy. He wagged his tail. The boxes she'd left behind? I stacked them outside the building with a sign. Free stuff. Take whatever you want. By morning, they were gone. The legal stuff started Monday. I'd called a family friend who practiced civil litigation and laid out the situation. He listened, took notes, then said the magic words I needed to hear. The engagement ring is legally yours. It's a conditional gift. Condition being marriage. She didn't fulfill the condition. You get the ring back. Harper had walked out with the $8,000 ring still on her finger. But legally, it was mine. Same went for any substantial gifts I'd given her during the engagement. The MacBook Pro I'd bought her last year for $2,100. I had the receipt. The Tiffany necklace from Christmas worth another $1,200, purchased with my credit card. The weekend trip to Vancouver for her birthday, that cost $1,800. The gym membership I'd been paying for at $120 per month for 18 months. Every gift, every expense, every dollar I'd spent on her with clear proof of purchase was now ammunition. We drafted a demand letter. Ring, laptop, necklace, gym membership reimbursement, plus half the wedding costs. Total came to $33,760. Gave her 7 days to comply or we'd file civil suit. Her response came through her dad's attorney within 48 hours. Ms. Harper believes the violent assault at the wedding justifies retaining all gifts as compensation for emotional distress. My guy laughed reading it. We have video showing Trent initiated physical contact. Self-defense claim is solid. And regardless, property law is clear. The ring's yours no matter what happened at the wedding. Most judges would be sympathetic after what she did. Trent tried making his own legal move 2 weeks after the wedding. Filed assault charges claiming I attacked him unprovoked in front of witnesses. Thought he had a slam dunk case. 150 people saw me punch him. Multiple phones recorded it. Clear evidence of injury. Problem was, I had the same videos. My attorney submitted every angle of footage to the prosecutor's office. All of them showed the same thing. Trent shoving me first, hands on my chest, physically moving me aside. Then, me reacting. The audio picked up him saying, "Move aside, bro," right before the push. Self-defense. Clear as day. The prosecutor's office reviewed it for 3 days and declined to press charges. Sent Trent a letter explaining that initiating unwanted physical contact makes you the aggressor, and that responding with proportional force is legally protected. What Trent didn't mention in his sob story to Harper was what actually happened after the punch. Security walked him outside while he was still bleeding and dramatic. SPD showed up, watched the clip where he shoved me first, and handed him a disorderly conduct citation, plus a trespass warning from the venue. Not cuffs, just a fine and a weekday court date he had to deal with. Trent wasn't done, though. Tried filing a civil suit for medical expenses and emotional distress. Claimed I caused permanent damage to his jaw, needed ongoing treatment, suffered trauma from the incident. Discovery was beautiful. My attorney subpoenaed Trent's medical records. Turns out his permanent damage was a small cut inside his mouth that healed in a week. No fractures, no dental work needed, no ongoing treatment. The ER visit cost him $340 after insurance. His trauma claim fell apart when we found his social media posts from 3 days after the wedding. Him and Harper at a club, acting like nothing happened, Trent grinning like he'd won something. Judge dismissed the case with prejudice. That means Trent can't try again. Also ordered him to pay my legal fees, $3,200. He never paid it. My attorney recorded the judgment with the county. It accrues interest and sits on his credit like a wet mattress. The second he shows W-2 income, we'll garnish. Until then, it's just sitting there ruining his credit score and making sure every background check flags him as someone with outstanding legal judgments. The wedding was all anyone in our friend circle could talk about. Videos of Trent crashing the ceremony were circulating. Someone had live-streamed portions on Facebook. The footage showed Trent shoving me first, my reflexive punch, everything. Comments ranged from, "This is insane," to, "Imagine doing this to someone," to my personal favorite, "Homeboy defended himself. Not his fault." My phone wouldn't stop. Calls from people I hadn't talked to in years, all wanting the story. Texts from colleagues. Messages from random acquaintances offering support or asking for gossip. I ignored most of them. We filed the civil suit against Harper. Her lawyer tried arguing the ring was an unconditional gift. Tried claiming she suffered trauma from my violent outburst. Tried everything. Judge wasn't having any of it. The video evidence made the assault claim worthless. The ruling came down 3 months later. Harper had to return the ring and MacBook within 30 days, plus pay $15,000 toward the wedding costs, since she was the one who walked out. If she couldn't return the items, cash equivalent was acceptable. The problem was, Harper no longer had the ring or the MacBook. She'd sold both to pay for the apartment she and Trent moved into. The ring went to a pawn shop for $6,000. The MacBook sold online for $1,400. My attorney filed for monetary compensation. Another 2 months of back and forth. Finally, the judge ordered Harper to pay me $25,100 total. Ring value, $8,000. Laptop value, $2,100. And wedding costs, $15,000. Payment plan of $500 per month for 51 months. I won, but it felt hollow, because winning meant I'd have a financial connection to this woman for the next 4 years, watching $500 trickle in every month as a reminder of the worst day of my life. 2 days after the ruling, Harper called from a blocked number. I answered because I thought it was work. "You destroyed my life." Her voice was shrill, hysterical. $25,000? Are you insane? How am I supposed to pay that? Shouldn't have sold my property to fund your fantasy with Trent. I needed that money to survive. Trent said we needed our own place. Cool. Pay me back for it then. I can't afford this. I'm working 2 jobs. Trent doesn't have work right now and... Not my problem. She lost it. Full meltdown. Screaming about how I was vindictive. How I was punishing her for following her heart. How the judge was biased because I had video evidence making me look good. You planned this. You wanted to humiliate me in court just like I humiliated you at the wedding. Harper, you humiliated yourself. I just documented it. Trent says I should countersue for emotional damages. For trauma from you punching him. Trent's a moron and you're broke. Good luck affording another lawyer. I hate you. I hope you're miserable. I hope... I hung up. Blocked the number. She tried calling from Trent's phone 10 minutes later. I let it go to voicemail. Listened to it later. 3 minutes of her sobbing about how cruel I was. How she'd made a mistake but didn't deserve this. How I was ruining her life over one bad decision. One bad decision. Like months of texting her ex, coordinating a public humiliation, and walking out on me in front of 150 people was just a whoopsie. I deleted the voicemail. Meanwhile, I heard through mutual friends that Harper's situation was deteriorating fast. She'd quit her job because she couldn't handle her coworkers asking about the wedding. Trent wasn't working because Trent had never worked. Turns out his real estate career was code for unemployed since college. They were burning through Harper's savings at an insane rate. Rent, food, Trent's lifestyle expectations. Turns out the guy had expensive taste, but no income to support it. 3 months after the wedding, they got evicted. Couldn't make rent. The unlawful detainer posted under both their names. Turns out when you co-sign a lease and both bail on it, both of you get the scarlet letter on your rental history. They started apartment hunting and reality hit fast. 2 places denied Trent outright when the eviction showed up on his background check. The third wanted triple deposit or a co-signer. His parents declined. Eventually they gave up and moved in with Trent's parents in Tacoma. Yeah, a 28-year-old, and his girlfriend moved into his parents' basement because nobody else would rent to them. According to the grapevine, Trent's parents were thrilled. They'd seen this pattern before. Their son bringing home a woman with money, using her up, moving on to the next one. They started charging rent, $800 a month for a basement room, and naturally Trent made Harper pay it. She picked up a job at Target, then added waitressing shifts at Applebee's because Target alone wasn't covering her expenses, plus the $500 monthly payments to me, working 60-hour weeks to support herself and her unemployed boyfriend while living in his parents' basement. The universe has a sense of humor sometimes. I thought this was the end of Harper being my problem, but no, it gets way worse. About 6 months after the disaster, I ran into Erin at a coffee shop. She'd been one of Harper's bridesmaids, felt awful about what happened, sent me a long apology text right after the wedding, even though she'd had nothing to do with it. We grabbed lunch, caught up. She'd moved to Portland for a new job, but was back in Seattle for a conference. Told me she'd cut off contact with Harper entirely. I couldn't do it anymore, Erin said. Every conversation was her complaining about Trent but refusing to leave him. She made her choice. I told her as much and she called me unsupportive. Sounds about right. How are you doing though? Really? Better. Staying busy with work. Still annoyed but dealing with it. We kept in touch after that. She'd visit Seattle monthly for work, and we'd grab dinner or see a movie. Nothing romantic at first, just two people who'd been burned finding someone who understood. But over time, it became something more. Erin was straightforward, drama-free, actually stable. A year after the wedding disaster, we made it official. Started actually dating, not just the friends-grabbing dinner routine. She moved back to Seattle for a promotion. We took things slow. Both of us were cautious after our respective disasters. My family loved her. My brothers thought she was great. My mom cried happy tears the first time I brought her to family dinner. This is what you deserve, Mom said. Someone who chooses you first. 18 months after Harper walked out on me, I proposed to Erin. Nothing dramatic. Weekend trip to San Juan Islands, quiet beach, simple ring. Will you marry me? Yes. Done. We set the date for the following spring. Small ceremony, 60 people max, close friends and family only. You should pay attention to that, because what happens next is something I didn't even expect to happen. The wedding was scheduled for April 20th at a small private vineyard outside Seattle. Invitation-only event, guest list carefully curated and provided to venue security. Casual outdoor ceremony, no wedding party except Leo and Erin's sister. Nothing fancy. I wasn't nervous this time, just excited. Erin had proven herself in every way that mattered. My phone rang at 2 p.m. while I was getting ready. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Hello? Harper's voice came through shaky, desperate. Please don't hang up. I should have hung up. Should have blocked the number immediately. But curiosity got the better of me. What do you want, Harper? I need to tell you something before you make the biggest mistake of your life. She was crying. You can't marry Erin. You're supposed to be with me. I'm the one. I've always been the one. We belong together. Harper, you're out of your mind. Get some help. I'm not crazy. I'm in love. With you. I never stopped loving you. Goodbye, Harper. I hung up. Blocked the number. Told Leo about the call. He laughed. She's losing it. Probably sitting at home crying her eyes out. Probably. We walked out to the vineyard at 3:55 p.m. Guests were already seated. Smaller crowd, more intimate. Everyone there actually gave a darn about us. The music started. Erin's sister walked down the aisle. Then the wedding march. And there was Erin, looking beautiful in her simple dress, walking toward me with a huge smile. She reached me, took my hands. The officiant started his speech. I was actually listening this time, taking in the moment. We did our vows. Erin went first, saying beautiful things about partnership and trust and building something real together. Then me. 2 years ago, I thought my life was over. Then I met you, and you showed me what real love looks like. Not the fairy tale Instagram garbage. The real deal. Someone who shows up and chooses you every single day. You're my person. She was crying. The good kind of crying. The officiant smiled. If anyone has any reason why these two should not be wed, speak now, or forever hold your peace. Silence. Then, stop the wedding! You have got to be kidding me. Everyone turned. Harper burst through the vineyard entrance wearing a full wedding dress. Not her old one. A new one. White, flowing, complete with veil and flowers. She looked unhinged. Makeup smeared, hair half done, dress wrinkled like she'd slept in it. She stumbled down the aisle, holding a bouquet, swaying like she'd pre-gamed with an entire energy drink factory. This is my wedding, she screamed. Mine! He's mine! 60 people sat frozen. My mom's mouth literally hung open. Leo muttered, "Oh no," under his breath. Security started moving, but Harper was faster. She kicked off her heels and sprinted toward the altar in bare feet, dress hiked up, bouquet flailing. I love you! I'm here! I'm ready! Let's get married right now. Harper, what the heck are you doing? I'm claiming what's mine! You called me. You said you wanted me back. I absolutely did not. You did. In my heart you did. And that's what matters. She reached the altar, tried grabbing my hands. I pulled back. Erin stepped between us. Back off, Erin said calmly. Harper's face twisted into pure rage. You! You ruined everything. You stole my man. This is my wedding. Your wedding was 2 years ago. You walked out. Remember? That doesn't count. I was confused. But I'm here now, and I'm taking back what's mine. Harper lunged at Erin with both hands extended like she was going for her throat. Pure, desperate fury. Erin sidestepped smoothly. Girl had reflexes. And Harper's momentum carried her straight past, right into the wedding cake table. The three-tier cake teetered. Harper grabbed for the tablecloth to catch herself. Wrong move. The cloth pulled. The cake tipped. Everything came down in slow motion. The cake hit Harper square in the face. All 3 tiers. Vanilla buttercream everywhere. She screamed, windmilling backward, slipped on frosting, and went down hard. But she wasn't done. She tried standing, slipped again, grabbed the decoration arch for support. The arch wasn't secured properly. It tilted. Harper shrieked and stumbled sideways into the sparkling cider tower. 60 glasses of cider cascaded down. Glass everywhere. Cider soaking her dress. She was on her hands and knees now, covered in cake and liquid, mascara running, looking like a rejected horror movie extra. The guests were silent. Then someone's kid yelled, "Again! Do it again!" And the entire vineyard lost it. People were crying, laughing, phones out, recording everything. Harper tried one more time to stand. Her foot caught her dress. She face-planted into the grass. Didn't move. "Someone call 911, Erin said, still totally calm. The ambulance arrived 15 minutes later. Paramedics found Harper semi-conscious, mumbling about destiny and true love and stolen weddings. They loaded her onto a stretcher. She was still wearing the cake-covered wedding dress. "Ma'am, are you injured?" "My heart," Harper slurred. "My heart is broken. We're taking you to the hospital for observation. You might have a concussion." As they wheeled her away, she reached toward me one last time. "Wait! We can still fix this. I forgive you for choosing her." The ambulance doors closed. Siren fading. Leo started slow clapping. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call karma with a side of slapstick comedy. The whole vineyard erupted. Erin looked at me. "Can we finish getting married now? I'd really like to be your wife before any more exes show up covered in cake." The ceremony continued. We said our I do's, kissed, walked down the aisle as husband and wife. Guests were still laughing, sharing videos, texting friends about the most insane wedding crash in Seattle history. At the reception, Leo gave a toast. "To the newlyweds. May your marriage be filled with love, laughter, and significantly fewer crazy exes wearing wedding dresses." Everyone cheered. And somewhere Harper was in a hospital bed, getting stitches for a cut on her forehead, explaining to a very confused doctor why she was wearing a wedding dress to someone else's wedding. Best wedding story ever. Guys, we are so close to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps hit that 100,000 mark. Thanks for making this dream come true.